This right here is going to be the message that you've been waiting for. This is what's really going to wake you up, open up your eyes to a whole different perspective in terms of you having success at reaching your goals. And let's first identify, who is this message for? Well, it's for somebody that's brand new. Let's just say they just got signed up for our coaching program at Heartletics. They're in their prep phases right now. They're still getting acclimated with everything on the app and the community groups and maybe the check-ins, the nutrition logging, everything like that, right? And so they're fresh. They haven't been through the different coaching phases. They're still fresh. They're still learning. It's like learning how to drive a car, right? In the very beginning, it's kind of nervous. You got your driver's ed instructor right there, and you're kind of timid the very first time, going on the freeway. And eventually it gets so much easier to where you can do it effortlessly. And hey, you don't need your driving instructor anymore, right? That's how we make our coaching program, where we're teaching somebody all the tools on learning how to properly eat and train specifically for their body type and their goals to create sustainable habits. But who else is this message for? Well, I would say it's also for the person that's, let's say they're inside of our coaching program and they've been feeding the bad wolf a little bit too long, and maybe they fell off the wagon. Or maybe you are listening to this right now and you're not a part of our coaching program, but you're still on this path of trying to become the best version of yourself and trying to reach your health and fitness goals, but you fell off the wagon. Hey, this message is going to be that inspiration for you. It's also going to be for that individual that, let's just say, they're not doing anything right now, but they want to. And maybe before in the past, they tried everything under the sun, right? Cutting out their carbs, cutting out their sugar, cutting out their favorite foods, alcohol, all these different fad diets, everything. And they only saw short-term success, where they would lose some weight and then regain it right back, to a point of just frustration and disappointment, where they're like, man, enough's enough. Like, I'm just going to throw in the white towel and quit and just give up. And they're looking for that little spark to get things going in the right direction, because who knows? Maybe they're suffering with their health. Maybe they're on high blood pressure, high, cholesterol. Maybe they're overweight and they're lacking that confidence. Maybe it's low sex drive. Maybe they're not leading by example for their kids and doing what's right. And they know they need to because their health is their wealth. That's who this message is going to be for. So I'll put it in terms of this. Everybody wants to be successful. Everybody, and like everybody wants to reach their goals. Whether you're trying to have a new relationship and find love in your life, whether you're trying to acquire more money and income, whether you're trying to start your own business, or whether you're just trying to lose some body fat, or maybe get off your medications. Let's gear today's message more towards that. And let me see what I can do to kind of just spark that inspiration to just get the ball turning a little bit more and giving you, most importantly, hope and faith that it's all going to work out as long as you don't give up. So the pathway to having success is actually very, very simple. But just because something is simple does not mean it's easy. See, at the end of the day, there's always going to be a choice that's going to be made, right? You can decide to be lazy and not be active and not eat healthy, and that's a choice. And in the time frame, right, like that's an easy decision to make. But long term, with different health consequences, it's going to be harder for you. And on the flip side, you can decide to, okay, hey, I'm going to start tracking and hitting my protein goal. I'm going to, start exercising and being more, consistent with that and just being active. And, hey, on those cold winter months, I'm still going to wake up and, brush the snow off my car, right? And still head to the gym. Guess what? That's hard in the beginning, but obviously as you have better health, more confidence, more self-esteem, everything like that, it's a lot easier of a life to be living down the road. And as we get older in age, it only gets harder. So we might as well make things a little bit better for us long term by focusing on doing something that is a little bit harder today for easier tomorrow. But regardless, the pathway to having success and reaching your goals is simple. There's a key word here: consistency, right? I want you to think about this and this kind of, hopefully shed some light, okay? In terms of your health and fitness goals, okay? Even though you just heard me say that it's simple, why is it that over 45% of the US population is considered overweight or obese? That's a lot. That's almost 50% of the people out there. And you don't believe me? Hey, just let's say if you go to church on Sundays, just take a look at everybody. Take a look at somebody's body. If let's say you go to the grocery store, take a look at somebody's body. If let's say you go to the mall, take a look at most of people's bodies. It's very rare to find somebody that doesn't have the big old dad bod, right? The big old belly, you know? And it's just like, it doesn't have to be that way at all. But people in today's society are deciding to take the easy route because think about it, it's convenience. You know, if you want something to eat, I mean, half the time now, you don't even need to go to the grocery store. They can deliver groceries to your house. You got Uber Eats, you know, you got all these different, you know, options right there at your fingertip to where we are becoming lazier and lazier and lazier, and our health is declining. You know, the stats of just pharmaceutical medications just increase year after year after year, and it's simply because we firmly believe that there's going to be this magic pill that's going to solve everything, and it's going to be that magic cure, and it's never going to be the case at all. You know, and so here's some more stats, right? Just to you know, shed some more light for hopefully it starts to, you know, make you prioritize your own health and fitness goals just a little bit more. 1/4 of the U.S. population, all right, of adults have high blood pressure. Now, here's the craziest thing. About 50% of those people are undiagnosed, which is wild. You know, it means they're not even going to the doctors. They're not even getting checked up, anything like this. They're undiagnosed, you know, and it's just like these simple things out there, right? Of like, okay, how do we get off high blood pressure, right? How do we lower that and get off our medications? It's very, very simple. You know, eat better, you know, be more active, reduce your stress. And I talk about that often because we've helped literally hundreds of guys get off their blood pressure, cholesterol medications, even reversing type 2 diabetes. And it's not hard. What makes it hard is the fact that us as humans, we're impatient. We want everything yesterday, so to speak, you know? And we want everything now. We want that Amazon Prime to happen right now. And it's brainwashed us to believe that, hey, we can change our health and get off our medications in a blink of an eye. So why worry about it today? We can take care of this later on in life. But at the end of the day, we're not promised tomorrow. And I want that to be clear. I want that to be the message. You know, I hate to be the one that says this, but I always say it like this. I'm a coach. I'm not a cheerleader. A coach is always going to tell you what you need to hear and know. A cheerleader is going to tell you what you want to hear and want to know. They're going to be sitting on the sidelines clapping their hands. I'm going to be the one yelling, right? Telling you how it is, right? Just literally waking up that good wolf that's inside of you that's been starved because you've been feeding the bad wolf so much. So here's the reality. You didn't get fat overnight. You didn't get fat in a week. You didn't get fat in a month, not even a few months. It took a long time. So for starters, right, to help you have success at reaching your goals is to understand the mindset that this is going to be a journey and not a sprint. So many times people think like, oh, I'm just going to lose weight overnight. I'm going to reach my goals in a few short weeks and that's it. It's just like how dumb it is when I hear people say, well, I'm going to cut out my carbs until I reach my goal weight and then I'm just going to go back to eating carbs. And I'm like, okay, so you're going to do the thing that made you lose the weight, which is nothing more than water weight, because cutting out carbs store water. You don't even know anything about fat loss compared to water weight and how, they're two completely different things, first off. So it's a fad diet that's not going to be sustainable, but you're going to do something to help you reach a goal and then go back to your old ways, which led to you having that body in the first place that you wanted to make the change. Mind blown, right? Albert Einstein said it best. The definition of insanity is doing the same things over and over again and expecting different results. Like, I kid you not. I hear the craziest things with guys because they have these egos. They think they know what they, need to do, when in reality, they don't. They don't know at all. They only make things 10 times worse for them. But you need to understand something about yourself here, is that it's going to take time. And the worst thing that you can do is try to fast track that time because of you being impatient. And your health and fitness goals, It has nothing to do about the goals. It has everything to do about the process, that journey. It's who you become, not what you gain, right, from the results. And who you become is somebody that should be learning how to properly eat and train for your body type and your goals. That way you acquire the knowledge, and then you can pass that on to your family. You can pass that on to your kids. And that way they don't have to suffer with their health and fitness goals anymore. They don't have to suffer with being overweight, lacking confidence, not fitting in their favorite clothes, body shaming, anything like that. They don't have to suffer because you were the one that stepped up to the plate and learned that knowledge and then was able to lead better by example than teach it to them. So understand this, that it's not a sprint. It's a journey, but it's a journey that's never going to end. I've been working out for a very, very long time. I've been eating healthy and sticking with my goals for a very, very long time. And I'm very content. I'm roughly around 10% body fat literally all year round. And I'm not saying that's a brag or boast, but I'm telling you that when it becomes a lifestyle, you don't need to worry about it anymore. It's just part of who I am. I show up and work out not because of me trying to build more muscle or burn more body fat. No. I show up and I go to the gym because of discipline. Plain and simple, discipline. And that's the key for also having success. Consistency. And you have that discipline, man, as long as you don't give up, I promise you, you will eventually reach your goals. It's very simple, Once again, though, simple does not mean easy. Because you can be doing things out there that completely make things easy for you in the short term, hard in the long term, and vice versa, Understand this, though, wherever you are in your health and fitness journey, as you decide to prioritize your health more and decide to make a change, there will eventually be these bumps in the road, we'll call it. And this is you just slowly approaching to the end of the line. And the line is this fine dividing factor between, where you're currently at right now and then your goals on the other side. This is also known as your comfort zone. And this is where there's actually an army at this line. And that army is not just one wolf, but it's several wolves. And it's the bad wolves. Guess what? Your comfort zone, it's comfortable there, right? The good wolves, that's on the other side. But in order to get over there, right, to paradise, to your goals, everything like that, everything, you got to go through hell. Plain and simple. You need to transform not just your body, but also your mindsets. You got to build some willpower. You got to build some grit. And that line with the bad wolves, it's going to tempt you. It might be, going out to eat, having some drinks. It might be, sleeping in instead of going to the gym and getting a workout in, whatever the case may be, and it's just like, we understand that everybody out there, hear me out. This is a huge thing. Nobody's perfect. Nobody is. There's 365 days in a year. We talk about Heartletics all the time is round up, let's just say 65 days, right? That way we got even numbers here. So 65 days is like your birthdays, your celebrations, your anniversaries, your sick days, your cheat days, whatever it is that you want to call it, just days where you don't feel like feeding the good wolf. Let's just round that up to 65 days. Well, hey, as long as you're pretty consistent on those 300 days, you're still going to have a very successful year. So it's okay, right? I don't want you to hear this message and just say, oh man, I had some pizza last night. I'm never going to have success at reaching my goals. No, that's completely false, right? You still can obviously have success. It's just, what are you going to do about it the next day? Are you going to feel guilty about it and decide to throw in the white towel and quit and go back to your old ways? Or are you going to say, hey, brush the dirt off your shoulder and let's just start tracking things back over again and hit our goals and be more consistent? It's that mindset shift that you need to make, because this comfort zone is going to test you. And I always say it like this, is when you go to the gym and work out, you are not building muscle, right? You are tearing down the muscle. If I'm doing a bicep curl, I'm breaking down my muscle fibers in my bicep. It is when the recovery comes in, right? The sleep, the nutrition, active recovery, everything like that, right? That is where the muscle builds stronger, leaner, more dense, everything like that. When you get closer to the end of this comfort zone, right, you are going to be tested with a lot of storms, a lot of adversities. That might be sicknesses, injuries, stress, which is huge that we talk about at Heartletics. It's because right here, once again, it's hell. It really is. But it's the people that make it through. That's are the people that are successful. It's the people that don't quit, don't give up, don't go back to their old ways. You got to understand this. Two things, right? You go to the gym, you break down the muscle. Well, guess what? The storms of life, the adversity, that's like the mental reps for your mindset, where all you got to do is push through. All you got to do is stay positive. And I know it's hard to look at the glass being half full rather than half empty at times, but trust me, the more you practice it, the more you work on your mindset, which is huge. Guess what? You're going to build up more confidence, and it's going to be so much easier to overcome those storms of life, that adversity. And keep in mind this, pressure builds diamonds. Let me repeat that. Pressure builds diamonds. Who is it that you want to become? You want to have the winner's trophy, right? You want to have the success at reaching your health and fitness goals. You want to be that diamond. You got to go through some hell. You got to go through some pressure. It's only going to make you stronger at the end of the day, though. You just got to realize that and understand. Now, before we end today's message, I want you to understand this, though, right? What can really help you out, okay, is your deep-rooted why and your goals. The best way that we tell everybody at Heartletics to focus on is a tree. If you have a tree, right, that's just like, it doesn't have a big root system. It is just a tree that's right there, small little roots at the very bottom of the soil, and it's branching up. Guess what? It doesn't matter how big the tree is and everything like this. If there's no roots, when a hard wind or snow or whatever the case may be comes, that tree's going to fall right over. And guess what? That tree's your goals. Think about it, right? You need to make sure that, you have your goals identified, crystal clear, everything like that. Be very specific on that. That's going to be like the branches. That's going to be like the flowers and everything like that, right? Make that tree very beautiful, right? Make it aesthetic. Be crystal clear, detailed. But what's most important is not just the goals, right? Which is the tree that's above the ground. It's what's below the ground, below the surface. And that's your deep-rooted why. You see, if you have a deep-rooted why am I trying to get in shape? Why am I trying to become healthier? It's going to make things so much easier because as that storm approaches, that deep-rooted why is a deeper root. It's going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper to where, hey, guess what? Multiple storms, multiple years, and guess what? That tree stands firm. It does not fall over. So the deeper rooted the why, the better chances you're going to have success at reaching your goals. Especially, like I said, when life throws you some curveballs, So how do you find a deep-rooted why? It's very simple. Ask yourself. Don't ask other people. Don't go to Google or YouTube. Ask yourself. Sit there in some deep silence. Put on some nice binaural beats or instrumental beats. Just something that it's just a nice melody. And just spend some quiet time alone with yourself and just ask. It's not exactly an easy exercise to do, but it's worthwhile from the answers that you're going to get. I'll say it like this. Some people, hey, let's just say I want to lose 50 pounds. Okay, that's great. Well, why do I want to lose 50 pounds? Well, I want to have more energy. Okay, so why do you want to have more energy? Well, I come home from work all day and I'm dead tired and I just sit at home and I feel like I'm not, being active with my kids. Okay, so why do you want to be more active with your kids? Well, when I was growing up, maybe my parents didn't play with me and I kind of felt alone and abandoned or whatever the case may be. It's just like, I want to be a better parent. Okay, so why do you want to be a better parent? And it just trickles effects to where, as you can see, that you're showing up, eating healthy, training, everything like that, focusing on being disciplined with your health and fitness goals because of such a deep-rooted why, where it's all going to make sense. And I always say it like this. Motivation gets you started. Discipline keeps you going. But you need to have a deep-rooted why to firmly have that discipline. So at the end of the day, just keep this in mind, right? The pathway to having success at reaching your goals is simple. Consistency is key. As long as you don't give up, hey, you're going to have success. Nobody's going to lose weight every single week. Nobody's going to, constantly, just see the number on the scale go down and that's it. No. Understand how body fat trends work. Some weeks you win, some weeks you don't. It doesn't mean that you're not going to reach goals. It's just like that's how your body works. Once again, nobody got fat in a week. Nobody got fat overnight. Nobody got fat in a few short months. It took time. So that's why we always say, don't try to rush the process. Instead, trust the process. Understand that it's a journey, but it's a journey that pays dividends, because it's not about the goals that you achieve. It's more so about who you become. A whole new mindset, a whole new habits that you have for yourself that you can then teach to your kids, teach to your family, teach to your coworkers, and really start to be that spark of inspiration for everybody else that's out there.